It ain't easy being us. This is Two Blind Crew. Yeah. Two Blind Crew. Two Blind Crew.
Daddy, what's wrong with you?
Hey, it ain't easy being us. Welcome to Two Blind Crew. I am Jeff, and I believe that feller over yonder
is Greg.
Greg McMuffin.
Yep. Howdy.
Oh, man. You know, today we're talking about a topic near and dear to our hearts, and I think will be near and dear to yours as well. Just talking about some of our most embarrassing blind moments. We figured we'd have a little bit of fun, make ourselves a little extra human for you, a little more relatable. And I am wearing probably the dumbest, most embarrassing hat right now that I own, but that's a story I'll save for later. First, Gregory, why don't you give us one of your most embarrassing moments?
Well, gosh, I don't know that you have enough data on this machine of yours to copy all this. I've got too many of my friends know way too many stories about me, but
they'll show up on Facebook, I'm sure. Hey,
yeah,
Greg, you didn't say this.
Yeah, that's what happened. I had a lot of suggestions when I mentioned this title to a couple people, but I think one that is always going to plague me is I had some relatives in from Maryland one time, John and Terry, and my wife and my kids were little. They were probably they were probably junior high age, something like that. So we had this great day up in the mountains. We were up walking along the parkway, and we were about to get back into the car. And at the time, we had this red Chevy van, yes, it was a minivan.
Oh, that's embarrassing right there.
Yeah, that's enough. So I'm walking, and I'm getting ready to get in this car, and it's like, oh, there it is. I see this red van. So I slide the door open on the side, and I climb in, and about that time, I heard, and there was a grandma and about 3 kids and a mother and daddy, and I had gotten into the wrong van, and they were about to have a heart attack.
So what's with the language you were speaking? Are you censoring it, or?
Well, no, they were Asian, and I don't know from where, but man, it freaked me out. And then to make it even worse, insult to injury, outside of the car, I hear this gut laughing and cackling, and I can just imagine everybody's pointing at me. So I say, sorry, and I climb out of the van, and oh my goodness, I can't live that one down. My cousins, every time they come down, they just start laughing. Go, remember the van episode?
But Japanese tourists had something to write home about.
Oh my gosh. Yes, this crazy guy gets in the van. We thought we were being mugged, all this stuff about America. But yeah, it was great.
Thank God they weren't packing heat. That could have been the end of you right there.
It wasn't good.
Thought you were getting hijacked, or they were getting carjacked, or one of those jacks.
You're like me. You've got many stories. Well, start slinging.
Yeah,
What's one?
This is going to be a multi-parter. We'll have to come back to from time to time. One of my favorite moments, kind of a backslidden time of my life, working for a secular radio station and radio traffic network as well. And it was Christmas time, and we had a big Christmas party happening in Tampa, and my date for the evening was a coworker at the traffic network.
Uh-oh.
And she, part of the problem that makes things embarrassing is when you're blind, but you don't really realize you're blind. I mean, you know you got a problem, but you don't, I like to live in denial. Like I don't have a problem, and then physics works, and I walk into something that reminds me. But so back when people used to carry cash, I went to the ATM and I took out, I don't know, whatever I took out, maybe $100 or $80 or something like that.
The big
20s.
spender.
No, I just last thing I wanted to do was that was before my credit got straightened out. That's another story. So
oh my!
Cash was king, baby. But so we go to this place and everyone's kind of meeting in this they had a bar area of the restaurant in the hotel in Tampa. And so we're all sitting there. We all ordered something, and the waitress is, she says, "Okay, that'll be." For some reason, $11 sticks out in my head. So I, being Mr. Slick and paying for the date, I reach into my wallet and I pull out what I thought was a 20, and I lay it on the table, and I go, "There you go." And then I hear this, it's 11, whatever it was.
Uh-oh.
And now I'm being cocky. I'm thinking she's not paying attention, so I'm being funny radio boy in front of my friends. So I put my hand on the 20, slide it towards them, and I go, "There you go." And then everyone starts cracking up. She's like, "I'll be back." And then my date for the evening is like, I got it. And it was at that moment that I had this horrifying realization. Oh my gosh, I forgot we stopped to get gas. And I paid for gas. So instead of reaching into what I thought was all 20s, I apparently grabbed a $1 bill.
Oh, my.
On the counter. They never let me live that one down. But that was one of my favorite blind moments.
They don't let you. How come it is when we do this kind of stuff, somebody's always watching?
I don't know. I think people like to make fun of us Magoo types or something. I don't
Well,
know.
maybe. Or it's usually when they're not around, I'm doing stuff like
Maybe it's because we're cool
doors.
about it. We laugh. Maybe
Yeah.
other people don't get reminded of their follies.
Well, I
They're
had,
not
you know,
good sports.
I think that's part of it. Is it's fun though. I mean, you got what you got. We got bad vision. We've got this thing going on. So
Give me another one. Come on.
let's laugh. Oh golly!
Give me the one
I
you
was
told
putting
me when you
this
first
on.
got here. I love that one.
Well, I was about 19 and I still had vision, but it wasn't all that good. And on top of that, I had this eye infection happening, and so that made it even hazier. And I was, it hurt when the light hit it, so I just wasn't doing well. So what I do, I jump in my van and I drive up to the hospital to see my girlfriend who had just had surgery.
What a nice guy.
Yeah, really. And I had flowers too, but driving, that was a trip getting there. So I made it. I got out, I go into the hospital, and I'm stumbling around the place trying to read the signs on the door to find her room. And I was like, holy mackerel, I finally made it. So I go in, all charming and everything. You know how you are when you're 19 and your gal's
You are a
in
charming
there.
fellow, I suppose,
Oh,
right?
yeah, we try. So I lay these flowers down on the table, and I go over to the bed, and she's laying there. She's asleep. She's kind of groggy. So I grab her, her hand, and I'm holding her hand, and then I start stroking her forehead and pulling her hair back out of her face and talking to her. And then all of a sudden she looks at me and she says, "Who are you?" And I was like, oh my gosh. I said, "Really?" And she said, "Who are you?" And I just said, "Good night, go back to sleep." And I turned around and walked out and just leaned up against the wall in the place. I was like, you got to be kidding.
That's hilarious and tragic at the same time. The fact that you were able to drive to the hospital, yet in your girlfriend's face, you couldn't tell it was...
No, I
knows who?
had no idea. So, well, she had flowers when she woke up. She didn't know who they were because I forgot them.
I don't know if that's embarrassing. I think that's just miraculous right there.
God protects the foolish.
God keeps you. He keeps you.
He keeps you.
I can't speak sometimes.
Protects me.
All right, on to my final one. And this isn't so much a blind thing. It's a little bit of blind in here. Just one of my overall more embarrassing things just because. And this is why the hat today. We went to a place in North Carolina called Love Valley.
Oh, baby.
No, what's his name? Barry White was not there. But yeah, they had, I don't know, it's like this little old West town and just a little cool family day. And we get out there and they've got a mechanical bull ride. And I thought, oh, how cool. The wife and kids do it. My little one was too afraid she didn't do it. But my son got on there and I don't know. I mean, we weren't going all Mickey Gilly and Urban Cowboy, crazy on it, but they were going pretty good and getting tossed around and thrown into the mats and having fun. And my wife did pretty all right. And then we were walking away and I thought, that's one of those bucket list things. I should just try it.
Oh,
but
my.
It wasn't so much the blind thing I was worried about as it is my bad back.
Oh, boy.
So I don't know. I know we got video footage of it somewhere. If we find it, right about now would be a good place to put it in. But if it's not here, you'll know we couldn't find it.
Oh, God.
Or maybe my wife was just too embarrassed to have this get out.
She probably deleted that one.
Yeah, she may have. But basically, I get on, and the guy, knew that I was blind. I believe we had the guide dog there, and So he helps me up on it. Very nice, very kind, very accommodating. And he must have had this. I didn't know they had a toddler setting on this thing. Because it was barely moving. But the thing about the mechanical bull is it's not so much even the speed. It's awkward shaped. You can't really grab on to too much. It's just like this little rope. And you're sliding around and you're like squeezing with your legs to hold on. And it changes direction kind of suddenly. Kind of herky-jerky. And then with the blind thing, you start getting dizzy. So I close my eyes and I think I may have said "wee" a little too enthusiastically, and then I basically begged the man to make it stop because I didn't want to fall or get hurt. So
that would have been the best part of the video.
I guess the embarrassing part was that it was. I'm like this, I'm no little dude, but boy, I was acting like a little girl that day. So I guess that kind of wraps up the.
That's pretty
It
funny.
ain't easy being us. There's tons
It's
more
not
stories.
easy.
We just wanted to give you all a little taste, a little treat. I believe we will have to revisit this from time to time because not
it's
only
fun.
do we have a million stories, or maybe 1,000,002 for Greg.
I'm older.
But, well, you are.
That's right.
But, we're still blind. So the story is still unfolding. So there's more to come. No doubt, from time to time. Make sure you're following us on Facebook and Twitter and all that. And if you've got something you'd like to hear us talk about, whether it's fun or something serious, drop us a note in the comment section or go over to facebook.com/2blindcrew. Until next time, God bless. You want to say bye-bye, Greg?
Goodbye, Greg.
Thanks for spending time with us at Two Blind Crew. On behalf of my daddy Jeff and Greg Greg McLaughlin, be sure to stop by our website, twoblindcrew.com. Follow us on Twitter at Two Blind Crew. And like us on Facebook. See you next time. Can I have my money now? I'm serious. I want my money now. Mom!